Doing episode 50. Welcome. We don't have any miscellaneous? Oh yeah, it's been questions. Hello Jasmine, welcome. I already kind of know you guys by your avatars. Awesome, by your images. Hello. Good morning, Linda. Welcome to the Mob TV. Hello Heather, welcome. Good morning. Okay. Come on in. Hello, Davina. Good afternoon. Come on in and settle. Bring your coffee or tea, and let's have some great conversation. Chris, we're live. Chris Mendoza, hello, and welcome everyone on YouTube. Good morning and welcome to Mob TV episode 55. Hello, Paige. Good morning. How are you? Paige, every time I see you, your name, all I think about is semicolon. You'll know why. Hello, Beck. Good morning. Happy Friday. Dan, the awesome. All right. We're doing well. Where we are here, we didn't get too much flooding. The basement in our building was flooded, but we didn't get too much damage from it. But there are other parts of the city that were underwater. Oh, if you're at the skate park, that sounds like Ayrton's having a great time. So yes, have fun. If you have to go, you have to go. But thank you for popping in. Let's see. Glad to see your picture. I need to go pick that book up. Which book? Which book, Jasmine? Yes, Paige. All I think about you, Paige, I mean, aside from all your other great notes, is Paige really likes semicolons. Or I'm really allergic to not only commas, but semicolons. So yes. Boy, let's see. I don't know which picture. Oh, yes. I don't think I put a. When you do, Jasmine, I don't know what number it is. Put an L3 in the mob if you would be so kind. Hello, Tanya. Good morning. Hello, Mary Beth. Good morning. Hello, Laura. Good morning. Welcome. Malcolm, yes, we are the Outfidels, yes. Welcome, Laura, hello. Yes, independent clauses. You'd think I didn't, you'd think I wasn't an honors English student with the way I write sometimes. It's just the speed. Craig, El Dragon, hashtag villains, good morning. Commas, 40 commas with dots on top, basically anything having to do with a comma, I have an aversion to, so yes. Yeah, we're all pretty okay here. Dan, thank you. Hope everyone else around the country. Stacy's in Louisiana, so I think she left Louisiana, but she's based in Louisiana, so that Louisiana got hit really hard by Ida and the flooding in other places, so hopefully everyone around the country is doing okay. We didn't expect Ida to do what it did up here. That was the first time ever we had a flood warning, a flash flood warning. Yes. I am a comma chameleon. Yes, any kind of comma, I can't. Sorry. I don't recognize commas. Maybe I can have them banned from English. That's excellent. Thank you, Jasmine, for the update. I've been texting her, so yes. Stays in Mississippi now, and she'll be back within. Okay, great. Yeah, I know, because also the phone service is spotty. I am definitely a comma chameleon. I will own that completely. For sure. Listen, this isn't a new development. Those of you that have been with me since Two Nerds and Butterflies, you know how it goes. So this isn't something that just happened. This has been the case since pretty much the beginning. So yes. All right, I got the feed. I can see it now. You got the feed over there? How come you get my whole shirt and I don't get my shirt? What's going on? Oh, I'm leaning forward. I have to lean back. I have to do Mob TV in a more relaxed mode to show off the shirt. I understand. Anyway, so yes, now you guys can all be comma chameleons for sure. All right, let's see how many. Oh, we got 13 people. Let's start the announcements. All right, so shout outs to, let me just mute this. Everyone at YouTube, hello everyone at YouTube. Thank you for being here with us. Don't forget that if you're on YouTube or if you're here in Facebook and you go to YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, follow, subscribe, and share. Click on that notification bell so you know when we're coming, when we do our Mob TV, since it's every 2 weeks. Somebody asked you a question. Do you do homework for the honors? Did Dolly? Yes. Dolly always does my homework. You kidding? Yeah, see, I'll show you. Look, we have a actual meeting, episode agenda. And I used to write these, and then I tried to read them, and they were illegible, and I had written them. Dolly has impeccable handwriting, and she said, "What is that?" And so, oh, I'm still fine over here. Unfreeze. And I'm still fine over here, so it might be your area. Your computer's tired. And Dolly has great handwriting, and so she writes the episode notes. So it's awesome.
I don't think so. The comments are coming through.
Are we frozen? It says live, and I'm good over here. Let me know if I'm frozen on your end, guys. There you go. I can't read. Yeah, see, it's coming through. There you go. Technology. We had a slight hiccup. So yeah, Dolly has great handwriting. She writes the notes, and then I can actually read them really quickly. So shout out to Dolly for having great penmanship and making sure our kids have great penmanship, which is not taught in school. You guys get this taught in school anymore? It froze twice. Okay, I'm glad it's back, and it's good on YouTube. Thanks, guys, for the feedback real quick. Do you guys, so it might be where we are, because I know certain people are getting interruptions, and I haven't gotten one interruption yet. So I don't know. All right. I'll ask you the penmanship question right after the announcements. So thank you for all of you on YouTube. Instagram, we're on Instagram at Bitten Peaches. So I haven't posted much this week because it's been kind of an off week in terms of writing stuff. I've been getting everything ready, for the next Bangers and Mash book that's coming out. So I've been kind of getting ready mode. So Instagram has been a little slow this week, but I'll pick it up next week. Follow us at Bitten Peaches. We're there. I put posts up on small excerpts, and actually other people are putting up excerpts of the book, which is pretty cool. They're kind of following the program, and they take like the excerpt that's been posted by one person named Raven Wood is the one about Simon asking Monty, "Do ogres glow?" That whole thing. So we had a little hiccup there. So yeah. ZAZZLE. Don't forget to go to ZAZZLE and get your swag. I saw Mark was getting. Can we get aprons with? I think we have one. If Mark is watching this, Mark Rollinson. So we have a Mita's Life apron. We'll get a Mages of Badassery apron soon. We're on Patreon, so if you want to become a patron, don't forget to follow us on Patreon and support us on Patreon. The e-newsletter did not go out last month because I was in the midst of divine intervention. At some point, I have to really get flat with that and get that really scheduled and at the fixed time each month, so it's not an issue. And BookBub, we're on BookBub, so follow us. I think the last book, Divine Intervention, is going to be on BookBub, so don't forget to go there, like it, leave your reviews. Same thing for Binge Books, or Bibo as we call it. Join it, add your reviews, and let's get our presence a little stronger on Binge Books as well. All right, let's see. So those are the announcements, the first half of the announcements. We'll talk about the other book and audio updates as we go along. Yeah, so you guys don't get penmanship anymore. I remember getting penmanship when I was in school. We had to write everything in cursive. Yeah. But then I started doing architectural stuff, and I started writing everything. It's like block lettering, which is easier for me now. Good morning, Robert. Wow, that was fast. You stop angering Zuckerberg, or he's not gonna let you post anything, Robert. Let's see. I need to call every book from here on Divine Intervention. This is true. That'd be funny. Just stories of divine intervention. Malcolm. Well, see, Jasmine wants to know when will the next interview. I'm working on it. I don't know if it's going to be an interview, Jasmine. I might intersperse the Patreon stories with little shorts, like mini shorts, and interviews. So I don't know if the next is going to be an interview, but it's being worked on. The next Patreon only story. So it might be an interview, or it might be a short, and I might intersperse those or kind of switch them off every time. So I have an interview one time, a short the other time, and it'll be stories that don't relate to any other thing, but just only stories for the Patreon patrons. So, but I like the interviews, and they're really fun to do, but sometimes I have these little mini shorts that don't turn into short stories, but they're kind of like really great little short vignettes. So I might do that for Patreon. Let's see. Okay, so Ayrton's gonna get there to his cursive soon. Good. In business, yeah, I use block lettering. Only because it was back when I took my time, it was easy to read, but I do it so fast now that it's hard to read unless I'm reading it. I can pretty much read it. But I use block lettering also because of the architecture. I was really heavily into architecture, and that's the writing that's used in architecture. No, Jasmine, it's not only interviews. Sometimes it'll be interviews, and sometimes it will be little stories. So, but it's only for the Patreons, the patrons at Patreon. Hello, Cynthia, and welcome. Yeah, I think we might be having some kind of slow up, but it seems to be okay. Are you okay, your end? Excellent. So yeah, so that's that should be coming out the Patreon end of September is what I'm pretty sure it's coming out. So it's going to be every 3 months, every quarter, pretty much. So the schedule is end of September for that. So how you guys are feeling about divine intervention? Let's discuss. Now we can, if you haven't read it by now, it's been out for a while. You're behind in the mob. The mob usually devours the book in the first 2 hours of it being published. So if you're going to say something that might be a spoiler, just let us know that it's going to be a spoiler. So what are your thoughts on divine intervention? The broadcast keeps getting interrupted. It keeps going in and out, but it seems to be, is it okay on YouTube, Chris? I'm fine on my end because we're using the phone, but I see it on the computer that sometimes it fades in, it comes in and out. Why did it wear you out, Mary Beth? Who was it? Somebody said I think it was John Falber who said you need to write really slow moments in there so we can take a breath every so often. And I'm like, that's not the way the story goes, you know? So he's like, yeah, I can't believe it goes so quickly. Yes, the bigger explosion from Dex hasn't really happened. One, because they were at Ezra's. So, okay, I'm going to preload everything I say with spoiler alert if you haven't read the book. Hello, Michelle, and welcome. So, the bigger explosion didn't come from Dex. One, because it's Monty, right, and Simon. And also because Ezra probably would have flattened him if he tried something really dangerous inside of Ezra's. But they still have to have an actual conversation about it. So we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, Simon growing his, but yeah, it's coming along little by little. It's like Carmen said, masterpieces take time. So he's growing, but really slowly. And also because he doesn't have a lot of knowledge about this world that he's in. And he's getting taught pretty much, it's like on the job training. So it's like he's learning as he goes. So it's tougher to learn that way. Great, I'm glad. I won't spoil it for you, Robert, but there's a lot of fun stuff happening in Divine Intervention. Yeah, when I first started training in martial arts, it feels a little like what Simon's going through now, you know? So it's tough. It's really tough. Let's see. Oh yeah, the reference to the riddle. Yeah, if you guys didn't get the riddle, I don't know what to tell you. I can't give you the answer because it's a riddle. But it's there. The answer is in the book. It's right there. I can't answer that question, Malcolm. It's in the book. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yes, you have to pay attention, and the tones are important, Jasmine. As you're pointing out, the tones are important. Is Dex the harbinger of Ezra? I can't answer that without spoiling the story, Malcolm. But it's in the story, so if you read the story, you know. I like Paige. Oh yes, Paige says I enjoy the "Who the hell are you?" from folks to Simon regarding Peach. Yeah, because if you think about it, it's really kind of astounding, you know, with Simon what he's going through, that people are going to question. And now with the mark that he's how would we say, he's most wanted in a way, it's going to be even more astounding because the people that are going to come after him, it's going to be like, whoa. Davina, thank you for popping in and being here with us, and have fun at the park. Yeah, oh no, if you think it's going to rain and you're in the UK, what a surprise. This is my really surprised face. Really surprised it might rain. What's all about the timing, Craig? Yeah, you can, right away. If you read it and remembered it. But even then, with the hints that go after the riddle, you should know what the answer is. I tried not to make it too hard. Let's see, someone needs to PM me the riddle answer. Paige, can you PM Jasmine the riddle answer? She got it immediately. Oh, if you haven't read so you need to read Lord of the Rings. But even then, even without reading Lord of the Rings, I put the answer kind of prominently right there, if you think about it. All right, what were your favorite Easter eggs? Maybe there was some in there that I put in that I didn't even know. Go. And some of them just come out subconsciously, just so you know. No, it's not, Craig. Come on. Don't be mean. All right, so as you guys think about that, let me give you some of the other updates. So Requiem, because the production schedule got moved, Requiem audiobook will be released end of October. For those of you who really, really like the audiobooks, the Requiem audiobook is end of October. Oh yeah, the Hotel California one was fun, Chris. I like that one. There you go. Yeah, Heather, that's a good one. The spoiler squirrel says about divine intervention, look away. But finally, I'll be able to briefly letting Dex off the leash has simply whetted the appetite for full-scale dust-up. Yes. Yeah, and Silk is always in the wings, Dan. Don't worry. It will happen. And when it does, you will know. Trust me. I won't let that occur without you being aware of it happening. For sure. And when it happens, you're going to be amazed at what happens. Oh, and just to give you an update, my official greeter is at school. That's why you don't see Z today, because she's at school. School has started, and this happens during school hours for her. So unless she's off from school, you're not going to see her, unfortunately. So she's not happy about missing Mob TV. She told me this morning. So she wishes you all a greeting from wherever she is in class right now. But yeah, we'll have to wait until she's on vacation. We might have a surprise closer. I don't know. We'll see if he wants to swing by. Yes, Jasmine. And so, okay, I got a lot of comments saying that I don't want to call it a montage, but the training montage in the beginning was too long with Yacht. So what do you guys think? Did you think it was too long? Or was it just maybe short? Or was it the right length? I'd like to get your opinions on the training montage of there's a reason why it went as long as it did, which will be explored in later books, obviously. But I want to know what you guys thought about the training montage, or Simon's training / pounding montage of in the beginning of Divine Intervention. Yeah, a lot of people were saying it was long. I get it, because it's a little bit of a change from the usual Monty Strong book where everything starts exploding right from the beginning. It's like a Michael Bay movie on steroids. But there's a reason why this had to happen the way it did, and there's a reason why it had to happen at the pace that it did, you know? It was definitely too long for Simon, Mary, for sure. Yeah, Craig, I don't know if anyone else caught that one. That's a good one. Not going to explain it now, but that is definitely a good one. Right, Jasmine, he didn't get the point entirely at that moment, but he will. Those kind of lessons, if you ever study martial arts, those kind of lessons take time to kind of process and digest. So it does take a while. And Simon can't learn easy, right, Chris? Also, because of Simon's background and his context, he's gonna learn hard, and that's the way it is, you know. It made my body hurt. It's simple. Yes, Glenn, mine too. Was the riffle not in The Hobbit, not Lord of the Rings? I don't understand the question, Malcolm. Yes. As for what Dex says, being vague, and just in case, he's going with my brother, and anyone who has, yes. Oh, yeah, that was a hard scene to write, Dan. It was. Yeah. And those onions, those dastardly onions. So, Paige, it wasn't so much that he was being obtuse. It was more along the lines of he's been exposed to this, he's trying to process it, and it's hard to learn and absorb things as you're being inundated with information. So it's not so much being obtuse, he's just not really knowing. He's not deliberately like, oh, I'm not going to go this way. It's just, he really just doesn't know. It's a whole different world for him. But thank you for letting me know that it felt like it was long, for sure. Yes. Because I didn't know what a riffle was. You meant riddle. Got it. Okay. And yes, and trying to survive. Because remember, you walk into a martial arts school, no one's trying to kill you. It depends on the martial arts school you go to, obviously. No one's trying to kill you. With Yacht, the threat is really there. He could really end, well, mostly he could really end Simon, or at least give him the impression that he could end him. And so, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, whoa, Yacht's really out to kill me. What's going on? You know? Yeah, and Audrey, you know, there are different ways of learning. So when you teach people, you realize that there's auditory learners, there's visual learners, there's kinesthetic learners. So people learn in different ways. Simon seems to be very kinesthetic in terms of that. And yeah, sometimes he really does seem a bit dense, but you have to understand that all of this is new to him, Glenn. And now the things that he's able to do makes it even newer. Unlike Monty, who grew up in this world and so has that background from birth, basically. He's been taught to be a mage, so it's nothing, that's his normal. For Simon, that's not his normal. Yeah. So the audio sometimes in the pic freezes. I get it every so often, but the comments are still scrolling, so it's weird. It happens. It's our technical situations. Fortunately, we have a technomancer on our YouTube side who makes sure the audio and everything is happening the way it needs to happen. That's Chris. So thanks, Chris. Right. How does a non-mage do magic? Exactly. John, welcome. John, I think I commented earlier. I think it was your comment that said I needed to write slow parts in the books so that you could slow down in reading them, so the pace could be a little more more relatable. Let's see. How long have Simon and Monty been together by this time? I'd have to calculate it, but it's been a little while now. Sharon, welcome. Good afternoon, Sharon, and welcome, and thanks for being here. You're not late, you're here, just on time. Will we see Dex paying Tessa another visit in the nearest future? Not the nearest future, but it will happen, yes. Jasmine says, I don't think Simon is dense or dumb. He's trying to catch up with theories and basing his experience on what he's seen. Yeah, understand that Monty's almost 200 years old. So this isn't like he just learned this yesterday. He's been doing this for a while now. So, and Simon is really just jumping into this. So there are theories that are really complicated that he hasn't seen in practice that now he has to kind of implement and introduce into his brain and accept. Yeah, and he's kind of learning it, like I say, he's learning it on the job. So yes, it may seem like he's being obtuse, but understand that if you've ever had to, we've all done it, you ever have to learn a body of knowledge while you're doing it, it's hard to do. Yeah, John, I'm going to write a section in the next book, which is Stormblood, deliberately really slow, just so you can take a breather and go, and then I'm going to blow something up. So, yeah. And sometimes, Mary says, sometimes it seems as if he doesn't want to accept it all. You know, our brains are funny things. It's not so much that he doesn't want to accept it all, even though he's seen it happen and actually can do some of it now. It's that it's very hard for the brain to accept things, even when they're right in front of you, even when you're doing them. Sometimes it's very hard. Jasmine Davis, welcome. I can't just say Jasmine because we already have a Jasmine in. So Jasmine D, welcome. So yes, so sometimes it's hard for the brain to accept things, even when you're seeing it, even when you're doing it. Occasionally it's very difficult for the brain to say, okay, this is our new normal. This is what we're doing. So yeah. Right. Exactly, Malcolm. So that whole thing about being able to cast and do something in the middle of no runes has to be put into context. Because if the runes are there, they should nullify all magic. But all of a sudden now, we're realizing that these nulls were designed to nullify certain kinds of magic or certain kinds of active magic. So, okay, now what's the difference? How is it done? How do you navigate that? It's like, whoa, you know? So there's a lot going on there. Glenn says, has there been a story about how Simon first came to be training with Matsuya? It's probably a result of Simon being with Monty as detective partners. And so Monty and Yacht, if you read The War Mage, Monty and Yacht, they go back way back. And so probably a result of that, Glenn. He just tends to clap back, Paige says, and want easy answers rather than going through the process. Yes, that's called human nature, Paige. Most people want the easy way out. Most, not all, most want the easy answer. Or can you do it for me? Kind of answer. And in this world, that can't happen. Right, Jasmine. Yeah, because he wasn't supposed to do it in Ezra's. He wasn't supposed to be able to do that. So it speaks to the power that's growing within Simon, but also his acceptance of the knowledge that he has and his ability. So that is growth on his side. It's maturity on his side. It's also immature to do that inside of Ezra's and get yourself blasted into little bits. So there's two sides to that, right? It's maturity in the sense of he's accepting what's happening, and immaturity in the sense that he's having a tantrum with Ezra, which is a bad idea all around, you know? Exactly. Yeah, correct. Yeah, like when people don't know something, when we didn't know something when we were younger, we couldn't just Google it up. We had to actually do research. We had to learn it. Now you can just Google anything, and I really mean anything, and you'll find something to kind of touch upon what you're trying to find. But it's not the same as researching and learning it. You just Google it and it's there. So a lot of the work is taken out. That's a good and a bad thing, because it also makes people more dependent on technology and less dependent on the actual research ability. So that it's a good and a bad thing. Let's see. Jasmine says, Paige says, my former professor brain wants to slap Simonson. I'm sure you're not the only one who wants to slap Simon sometimes, for real. Jasmine says, I think something else to consider is that Simon tends to take people down who have been corrupted by magic. Yes, remember when he was offered this, he was offered Phenomenal cosmic power. And he said, no thanks. It's because of his experience with gods and people, beings of power, and he sees the corruption that's possible. And he was like, yeah, I don't think I want that much power, because I can see what, the whole concept of absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's like, yeah, I don't want to have that much power because it's dangerous. And maybe he didn't trust himself to have that much power. We'll see what happens. Craig says Google, Tamara says good thing Ezra likes him. Yes, it was a good thing that Ezra likes them very much. Craig says Google is good for researchers and conspiracy theorists. I like me, like you. Okay, sure. Malcolm says, do we remember what we've Googled, or do we need to Google it again? That's kind of meta, Malcolm. Google can I remember what I Googled? Do I need to Google what I Googled? That's very meta there, Malcolm. But yes, we have a tendency to not sometimes even remember what we've Googled after we kind of get the information quickly. It doesn't even stay in the short-term memory, Glenn asks and says, I hope to read a story someday about the early days of Simon training with Master Yacht and the why of him doing that kind of training. I'd also like to know more about Simon's detective agency time before Monty shut up. Oh, that'd be fun. I'd have to go back quite a ways to bring that part of Simon's life into fruition. Yes, I've had a shave, Mark. Actually, I had a shave right before I got on air. I use this now. This is the skull shaver. I'm not sponsored by a skull shaver, but I use this to shave because it lets me shave anywhere. I don't have to use a razor. I just shave and it's quick. So it's a lot of fun. So yes, Mark, I've had a shave for sure. So let's continue. So Divine Intervention is published, obviously. If you haven't gotten your copy, what are you waiting for? Go get your copy. Bangers and Mash. The art should be in a week or so. It's a novella, 25K. So I say now. We'll see. That's what she said. That's horrible, Robert. Paige says, I remember it. My brain is... Yeah, so Dolly asks me this all the time. How do you know all this stuff? Your brain just collects all this data, and I've managed to be able, when I'm writing at least, that I can use a lot of that information, trivia, a lot of it useless trivia, but trivia, that I can just put it into the stories, especially when it's stuff like the Easter eggs, because of the way I grew up, reading so much and watching so much of what we consider it's shows like Star Trek and movies like Star Wars and all this stuff. It gets in there in your brain and it stays there. And we're still talking about Star Wars some 30, 40 years later. So these things are current. Same thing with Star Trek. And so I can just pull this stuff out. The Easter eggs are never planned. It just happens in the conversations that are, or in the story. All right, Craig. Oh, we lost Craig. So his feed has completely glitched. Hope you guys, rest of you guys are okay. And everybody on YouTube, I hope you're okay. Live demo. I'm not doing a live demo, Mark. Get out of here. Who wants to bet more than 30K? I'm aiming for 25K, John. Leave me alone. 25K. It's a novella. It's Bangers and Mash. Bangers and Mash. I don't know if we can even do a full story of, well, actually, we probably could, but a full story of Bangers and Mash. Because the premise behind Bangers and Mash is that it's very much a, how would I put it? It's almost a parody of Monty and Strong, Bangers and Mash. So it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's like a Monty Python version of Monty and Strong. Put it that way. So I don't even know what. See, I'm thinking of giving them a mascot, an animal, but I don't know what I would give them. Really, like what would be the right animal to be with Bangers and Mash? I don't know. It's because it has to be a foil, so it would have to be kind of the opposite of Peaches. Like probably some creature that takes itself too seriously and, helps them out. Oh, Glenn wants to know if my shirt is backwards or my video image is being broadcast in reverse, mirror image. I don't know. My shirt is not on backwards. Do you read it back? I'm seeing it backwards on the screen, but it says anti-fragile. So there you go. It's the camera. I think it's the camera because I'm doing it on the phone. So it's the camera. I'm not doing it on the computer. I'm doing it on the phone for various reasons because we were getting all kinds of technical glitches on the actual computer, and the phone also allows us in the future to start doing our episodes mobile and other places. So this is all testing to go out into different places and have our mob episodes in, you know, in remote and exotic places like the park. Babe, can you give me the charger for the phone? It's low. The long cord. Thank you. An alligator named Elvis isn't good for transporting, walking around. So no. A talking parrot or Norwegian blue, of course, yes. But magical. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna have him walk around with a parrot. But that would be ideal because obviously Monty Python and Norwegian blue parrot. Wow. So guys, the phone that we're doing this on is a little bit low. So I want to make sure that we don't cut out in the middle of our episode. That would be bad. So I already have a cat with Jessica. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Awesome. It's like shaking around. It's like an earthquake. Okay. I love it. This episode's gonna be the shaky episode. Sarah, have a great vacation. Awesome. You head to Greece of all places. Fantastic. Enjoy the Mediterranean and enjoy that amazing. That was nice. We had a little earthquake in the middle of the show. It's nice. We have 2 cats already. We have the cat that's with Jessica, and who can name the other cat that's in the Monty Strong world? Because I think it was only mentioned once. Wow.
Where's Jeanette?
Yeah, Jeanette's not on. She'd know. Oh, no. It's not printed backwards. It's actually printed the right way, but the camera picks it up backwards. Glenn. Yes. But maybe I am reading it. It's printed backwards, and you have to be able to read it backwards. No, it's actually just the camera. It's done that. Simon is trying to break through to the other side. Yeah, yeah. Oh, very good, Tamara. What's the name of the cat? Do you remember it? No, we're not gonna have a pigeon, Jasmine. Pigeon only makes me think of Goodfellas. Good Feathers from the Animaniacs, which would be hilarious, but I couldn't pull off a pigeon mascot. I don't know why it's repeating itself. It's having issues. Joe, welcome. I think it's late in the day for you or early in the evening. Yeah, exactly. Are you calling at me? Am I funny to you? Am I a joke? I can see that now. Yeah, that would be a problem. Yeah, there you go. That Freya had a good use for them. See, she turned them into battle cats. Those things were scary. Yeah, I can't see Bangers and Mash having a cat. It'd have to be something else, but it has to be something kind of exotic. But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one if I even give them one. I know, Jasmine, it would, but pigeons, pigeons aren't exactly. I don't know. It's because I've dealt with them my whole life. I'm not gonna have a strong affinity for having a pigeon in a story. That's gonna be like no one in New York loves pigeons. Trust me on that one. Let me see what other announcement we have. Oh. So the Nixia White box set is out. So if you guys want to read the box set in one sitting, like you have the whole box set together, the box set's out. So get that. And it's also going to be out in print. I called the designers. I emailed the designers and had them create a print cover. I'm going to have the Nixia White will be out in print. So I just have to see what to price it. So something, affordable, even though it's print. Because it's only 3 and it's only as long as like one book, all 3 together. So it should be okay. A scruffy little terrier that bites one of them constantly. No. Yes, or leave a review. Leave a review is good too. Yes. Welcome back, Davina. A spider. No, a spider can get smushed. So we'll have to, you know what? We're gonna put this out in the mob and see. Once I'll put out another snippet at some point and then ask the mob what kind of animal they would suggest. A raccoon would be 2 Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, and I don't feel like dealing with Marvel lawyers, so no. Or Disney lawyers at that point. A rat? Yeah, a rat? No, not so much. Possum? It also kind of has to have some ability, so it'll be interesting. No, see, I dinosaurs, yeah, it's a little too big. Ferret is, I want to say Kim Harrison. Her main character has a ferret, and so I couldn't use that one. Yes, pigeons are rats with wings. So yeah, I'm telling you, New Yorkers do not have a good experience with pigeons. Probably because they poop on us as we walk by. So no. A pug. Yeah, a pug would be, but I don't want to do another dog. I don't want to do another, because then it's too close to Peaches. So it can't be a canine. Yeah, it has to be something that they're gonna take with them. No, not a kangaroo. It's too big. Remember, it has to fit in the pumpkin, which is a VW station, VW van. That's true, Cynthia. You're right. A spider is too unassuming. It's too small. It has to be a fairly sized creature, fairly large. Yeah, a fox, still kind of canine. We'll see. I just found out today, well, not today, but recently, that a vulpecula is a small fox in Latin. So, and it's also a weapon in the game that I play. So I was like, wow, a fox would be cool, but we'll see. It's been done elsewhere, and I think Steve McHugh, Remy is a fox, and I don't want to, again, it'll be too close to an existing character. Yeah. A mean little monkey. No. You guys have great ideas though. This is gonna be fun when I'm gonna try and put it out to the mob, to everyone in the mob, and see what everybody comes up with. Right. Yeah, John, Kat Richardson. There you go. Yeah, she has a ferret. It's a great series of books if you haven't picked them up yet. The Grey Walker series by Kat Richardson. Her mascot is a ferret. So a sloth. A sloth. What if they have to move fast? It's going to be an issue. So we'll see. Or a female hamster. They are ferocious. Ours killed a poor. Wow, that is ferocious, Audrey. That's extremely ferocious. A gargoyle. It'd be interesting how to swing that. Yeah, an ocelot. That is some great ideas. I'm gonna have to give it some real thought. Yeah. I read Grey Walker even before, John, to answer your question or to answer your comment. I read Grey Walker even before I started writing any urban fantasy. So it was really very early in my I want to say writing career. But Grey Walker is a great series to read, and I like the lead. She's really good, and I like the whole concept of grey walking. It's really a good idea. I don't know if she's written anything lately, but the series is really good. A tamarin or a marmoset. See, that's starting to sounds interesting. A marmoset or a tamarin. The gargoyle is gonna be tough because gargoyles, and I think there's another series out there that has a gargoyle. Right? So yeah. Yeah, see, a chihuahua might actually, because okay, this is my own personal pet peeve. I have never liked yappy dogs. Now, what I call yappy dogs are like chihuahuas. Chihuahuas are yappy dogs because that's all they do. They kind of bark at you, and and you just want to like pick them up and put them in a bag or something, right? That's why I always like larger breeds, because my dog Winter, she's a boxer. I think I've heard her bark. How many times have Winter barked? Like a handful of times in all the time that I've had her, and it's been 9 years. The breed doesn't really bark. She'll growl and she'll make some other noises, but she doesn't really bark often. So maybe a Chihuahua, we'll see. But I'm trying to stay away from dogs and monkeys and pygmy deer, Cynthia. Chipmunks, too close to a ferret, Michelle. See, these are the issues that writers have to deal with when creating characters. What is something vetty? Oh, something vetty British. Got it. Yeah, nobody really likes those. Oh, okay, let me not say that because a lot of people love Chihuahuas. Personally, I'm not fond of the Chihuahuas because They're little balls of energy that are never quiet. That's my own thing. So, yeah. But that's my own personal thing. What did George Clooney have as a pet? I don't know. What did George Clooney have as a pet? Anyone know? And how did we segue into George Clooney? A potbelly pig? Yeah, that's gonna create issues. So it's gonna have, the criteria has to be that it's an animal that's somewhat accepted, but not a dog. Here you go. Oh, use a Great Dane, right? They're rather shy and scared of everything. Would be a good counter to the C4 aspects, right? And would be a counter to peaches. They're also enormous, so we'd have to find a Great Dane that's kind of like not at full height yet. An Old English Bulldog is kind of fun though, yeah, because they don't get along very fast and they kind of clomp all over the place. So, and they slobber, yeah, it's like worse than what most Mastiffs do. We'll see. It's a tough one. This is a tough call, guys. I'll have to use the collective mind of the mob. Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking of, Davina, that they are. It would be the actual opposite of peaches. So we'll see. A badger or a beaver or a giant European otter. Thanks, Sharon. A hedgehog. Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not gonna have a liger or a lion either, Malcolm. Remember, this has to be kind of reasonable. Peaches goes XL, but in his regular size, even though he's getting kind of heavy, he's getting big. It's still based on a Cane Corso. Does Simon ever have to take Peaches out for a walk? I'm sure he does. It's just not in the books. Nyx to have a hedgehog. I don't know if Nyx is gonna have. Nyx would have to have something half demon. So anything that comes. See, Nyx could have like a Tasmanian devil. That would be something that kind of epitomizes Nyx. Hummingbird, nah, that's too cute. Honey badger, see, that's more Nyx's area, Glenn. A honey badger would be great for her. All right, let's move on. I'm definitely gonna put this in the mob though, because you guys have some great ideas. So what's coming up next? Sepia Demon is coming up next, and I'm gonna be doing the outline and the preparation for Stormblood, which is Monty Strong 15, Night Warden 3, which is Nocturne Melody, and maybe the Darkened first of the series. So that's what's coming up next between now and next year. So there's a lot that's coming up. I'm gonna let you guys keep giving me suggestions as I go to the questions. Here we go. Boom. All right. First question, because it's already 12:19, so we don't have that much time. All right. So first question: when you presented, this is from Malcolm Robertson. When you presented MNS to JPL so MNS is Monty Strong and JPL is John P. Logsdon. Were they fully formed in your mind or still nebulous? They were fully formed in the sense of I already knew what the characters were going to do, Malcolm. I already had them. And so the first treatment that I sent to John to look at, the characters are pretty much fully fleshed out. How have they grown in ways you didn't foresee or expect? Monty going to use more dark magic was one way I didn't expect. That's totally different. It developed over the story. And Simon was pretty much Simon with the snark and his attitude. So he was pretty much the way I expected. Let's see. I know you did not plan Peaches being permanent. How has that impacted the storyline? Peaches was supposed to come in and then exit the story. So Hades was going to give Simon Peaches. Something was going to happen, and then Peaches was going to be gone. But everyone loves Peaches, and I love Peaches, and he's the heart of Monty and Strong, so he kind of has to be in a story. So that's impacted the storyline by demonstrating the humanity. It's weird because he's a hellhound, but he kind of demonstrates the humanity of the duo. So, and the single-mindedness of meat is life is a nice contrast to the complication of everything that they're involved in. So it's almost like he is the innocence of the Monty Strong world. So that's how he impacts the storyline. And he's dangerous, and he's a badass hellhound. So he saved them on more than one occasion, or has facilitated their being saved and has facilitated bringing trouble. So yeah. So Peaches is important to the story. Very important. And it's also kind of what makes Simon more human, in the sense of he will do anything to protect Peaches and Monty. But Peaches, like, he gets very twitchy when people start calling Peaches it, or a different name, or, you know. The only one he allows to get away with that is Monty, who calls Peaches creature. But Monty does it in a way of, because he's Monty. He doesn't do it in a way that's insulting Peaches. He just says you're creature that way, but he really cares for Peaches as well. But that's the only person that Simon allows to call Peaches something other than Peaches. Let's see. Jeanette asks. Jeanette's not here today, but she asks, will we ever find out who it was that Simon refused to shoot? Yes, just not for a long time. Because that catalyzed his whole leaving the company that he was in, the group that he was in. Next question. When did Tristan first come to live permanently in New York? Right after No God is Safe. So if you read the story of No God is Safe, which is a short story, right after that, he decides he has to stay in New York. So that's when it is. Craig said he had a question. Oh, do I have a current background character favorite? Jeez. So I was going over this with Dolly and saw Ayrton. I said, hello, Ayrton. And my favorite current background, all my background characters are my favorite, apparently. We were going like Cecil. Who else did we have? God, so many of them. There's Cecil, there's Frank, there's Cole, there's so many background characters that what happens is all my background characters have stories of their own that can turn into their own like series. So Maury is a favorite background character. Just Arya could have her own story. There's a whole bunch that, so I would say all my background characters are my favorites because they can all have their own stories. So I hope that answers your question, Craig. Mary Beth asks, when M&S agrees to owing Bab a favor, for example, do you have consequences already in mind, or do you wait to plot things like that? I have, there's always a consequence to those kind of things. So I have the consequences ready. Honor is a fantastic background character who's very kind of understated and underrated. Like, you don't see much of him unless you're dealing with Gray and some of the other stories, but he figures prominently in Gray's story. There are always consequences, Mary Beth. When a deal, like making a deal with the bad Cathars, it doesn't happen lightly. So yes, there's a consequence. Audrey asks, let's see, Orlando, what is one thing that people misunderstand about you? My silence. Most people think I'm quiet, and so I don't know. That's throughout my life that has been what most people have misunderstood about me. My silence, meaning I'm disinterested or I don't know. So a lot of people mistake silence for ignorance, and that's not always the case. Dolly, what is one thing you miss about being a teenager? Oh, do you want me to answer for Dolly, or do you want Dolly to answer for Dolly?
Having responsibilities that are less heavy than what you have as an adult and as a parent.
That was me lip syncing Dolly. See, I can do her voice pretty well. Is honor one of the 10? I can't answer that, Dan. I can't say yes or no. Honor falls into almost, in regards to the 10, honor falls into like Dex category. Kind of, but not. Oh, Jasmine wants to know, when are we going to see more Chi and Simon? See, Stormblood. Stormblood, if you've read Divine Intervention, you know that in Stormblood, they go to the UK. So after they come back from the UK, because there are things that are going to happen back in the States with her and the Dark Council that will be happening behind the scenes while they're in the UK. And the Valkyries asked, Batman or Superman? But since the Valkyrie's not here today, I will be the honorary Valkyrie and say Batman, of course. What kind of question is that? Okay, so if you have any other questions, we have about 10 minutes. If you have any other questions, if you want to ask. So yes, Dan, I would say Honor can kind of be like that, but I wouldn't consider him one of the 10. Because he's part of the remember, he's part of the Light Council. So he can't be in the 10. That's a whole different group that hasn't really been revealed yet. There's been talks about the Light Council, but, you know. So Audrey, in response to that question, I have to have a conversation with people in the UK to find out what areas can't be destroyed. Because the last time Monty and Simon went to London and there was some collateral damage in the Tower of London and most of the bridges across the Thames, I got a lot of flack. So I got to find out what areas I got to kind of leave alone and then consider if I can leave those alone. See, I know I could blow up the Shard. Nobody really minds the Shard getting destroyed. But let's see. St. Paul's I can't touch because a lot of people like that. Nobody had a problem with the Tate being destroyed because nobody really likes the Tate Museum. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think what other landmarks. See, I would keep the, what's that building called? The one that looks like an egg. I forgot. Do you know it? The one that looks like an egg that's across the Thames. The Gherkin. I think that's the Gherkin, right? I can blow that one up because no one likes that one. And the walkie-talkie building that melts the cars because of the concave shape. That when the sun hits the windows, if the reflection hits a car, it can melt the plastic in the car on the ground. I might destroy that building just for the safety of people. Coventry, see? Canary Wharf, I can go down there and destroy some things over there. But the Gherkin sounds like a good target because I think from what I understand, I don't know, but from what I understand, I heard, no one really likes that building. I don't know why. Is it because it looks like a big egg? What's the thing about the Gherkin? Dan says, leave London as a smoking crater. That might upset some people, Dan. I don't want to accidentally knock down Stonehenge because Monty would be upset if we do anything messing with henges. And one of the characters that's going to figure prominently in Stormblood would not be pleased by something like that. So yeah. Oh yeah, I could go back to the Tate, Tamara. That would be good. Yeah, that they did. So and then re-destroy it. That would be fantastic. I'm gonna make sure happens. Yeah, but this time it'll just be a complete accident. But you know. Then they can start from scratch again. Spaghetti Junction. I don't even know what that is, but I can find it and destroy it. Now I sound like one of the agents from Matrix. Find them and destroy it. Milton Keynes can go, but leave Silverstone alone. And I'm quite fond of Somerset. Okay, I don't know what any of those places are, but I will find them and see if I can avoid them. That's a good one. Yes, I am not a Valkyrie. I'm not going to put on the helmet with the two horns for like Elmer Fudd did. No. Bye, Laura. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being here with us. And watch that shoulder and rest it and do your rehab thing, whatever you need to do to make sure it's okay. Yeah. The Millennium Dome. I don't remember the Millennium Dome, but I do remember the Gherkin. Is the Millennium Dome recent, or I just not visited when I was there a few years ago? No, I'm not. They're not gonna go to France for a while. So I'm not gonna. And Notre Dame is really touchy. You don't want to really see. That's like me blowing up the Tower of London. I didn't even really blow up the Tower of London. It just had collateral damage, and you would be amazed at how much pushback and feedback and angry emails I got just from that little bit. So yeah. I always thought of it as a big egg. It looks like a big Fabergé egg. Yeah. Right, so the Gherkin is like a stretched out egg. So, but I still think it reminds me of Fabergé eggs. So that's why. Milton Keynes and their concrete cows. I don't know what that is, but I will definitely research it. Yeah, you can't mess with Stonehenge. Monty as a mage wouldn't mess with Stonehenge, and the other character that I can't say because it would be a spoiler would definitely not let them mess with Stonehenge or any other henge in the UK, in London. Maybe you can have a big fight in the big forest fires in the northwest of the US. No, we're not going to mess with that because that's a real touchy subject, the fires in the northwest. So things like that I don't include in books because they're real things that are happening and people are adversely affected by it, which is why, and I had a few people ask me, why isn't COVID in the books? And for me, it's not something that I can put in the books because one, over 600 and something thousand people have died from it. And two, so it's a really sensitive subject, and it's not something that I can put in a book and then possibly make light of it elsewhere. So that's things like that I wouldn't put in the books that way. So yeah, so that's why. Yeah, but I wouldn't mess with the fires in California or the Northwest or like anything like that. Millennium Dome opened in 2000 in Greenwich. Oh, I haven't gone to see it then. Oh, the London Eye. I did destroy the London Eye last time, Sheridan. It rolled down the Thames. Yeah, Stonehenge isn't going to get destroyed. Trust me. Trust me on that one. Stonehenge can't. Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine, I understand that we're not blowing them up for real, these things, but you'd be surprised. I thought, hey, it's a book. I had someone, I forgot, was it a Proper Hellhound? Where's the book that features, hardly any of the Monty Strong books feature Peaches on the cover. But there's one, I think it's either Hellhound Blues or Proper Hellhound, where Peaches is on the cover with one of these pinch collars, right? And I got a long email from someone about it's inhumane, how can you depict that? It's the wrong thing to do. The message that you're sending, I'm like, it's a fictional dog / hellhound. It's not even a real, and it was a whole rant on how those collars are inhumane. And if that's just on a fictional animal, and imagine because people get attached to the places that they live in. They create an identity around them. And so that's what happens when you start blowing up pieces of other people's cities. I blow up my city all the time. I don't have an issue. So, welcome, Alyssa. Hi, how are you? Yeah, so I blow up New York, parts of New York. And trust me, I love this city. I also hate this city, but I love this city. And I blow it up all the time. It's not an issue. So, you know. Yeah, I don't put COVID. See, it's things like that. I wouldn't put COVID in any of the Monty Strong books or any of my books because it's a polarizing thing. And remember that it's a thing that's actually happening now. And they're saying, yeah, but I've gotten emails where, yeah, your book isn't really in the present. I go, yeah, it's entertainment. It's not meant to depict real life situations. I mean, I'm talking about teleporting and mages and, you know, gods and okay, so we have enough reality. The reason I write is to kind of escape from that for a while. That's what the books are for. So, yeah. Hello, Mary Dot. Welcome. Let's see. I can kill Wembley, the stadium. Sharon? All London Football Club stadiums are fair game. I'm guessing you're not a big football fan. London football fan. Alyssa says, I'm new and only on your second book. Thrilled. Thank you, Alyssa, for being on the second book. And I envy you because you have such a long adventure ahead of you. So enjoy the series. There's a lot to read. I haven't had a big battle in Grand Canyon. So you got to understand that Monty and Strong will stay to large urban populated areas. They don't really go into the Midwest or things like that. Unless there's a story that requires them to investigate these places, they're going to stay in the big populated areas. Yeah. Right, exactly, Davina. So a lot of people tell me that they read my books, readers. They read my books when they're in the middle of situations. I've had a lot of people tell me I was in the waiting room with my sick relative and I read your books and it helped me escape the situation that I was in the moment. And so I don't want to have to put something in the book that's only going to help them revisit what's actually happening in their life. So people, like you're saying, people with PTSD, it could be triggering for them to have something that really happened in their life. Now in the story too, it just reinforces it. So it's like, let's not do that because that's not the purpose of the book. The purpose of the book is to help you escape and have fun and go on an adventure with Simon and Monty and Peaches or any other character that I write. So that's why. And even if the character is dark, like let's say Nyx, and she has a darker story, it still should be an adventure, you know? When they go on vacation, Glenn, I'll have them go to someplace like Hawaii, and that'll be a place where one of the more remote volcanoes will detonate, which is, Hawaii has a lot of islands that are unpopulated, and maybe something like that will happen. blow up stuff in Denver. What is there to blow up in Denver, Jasmine? Tell me. I can blow up a restaurant that serves bangers and mash for sure. And actually, when they're in London, I'm gonna make sure that that's one of the breakfasts that's ordered for them, bangers and mash, and that can bring Monty bad memories. And yeah, and also Glenn, I try not to hit major landmarks like the Grand Canyon, things like that, because again, it triggers people because it's like blowing up part of the Tower of London. I love the Tower of London. I went there. I spent many days at the Tower of London, and because I took